Hey guys, what is up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review, and today we're taking a look at this Friday the 13th part 6 NECA Jason figure, and I'm really excited to make this video. I've had this figure for maybe, I want to say 2 years, at least a year and a half. I've had it for a very long time, and it was one of the first Jason NECA figures I got. Not one of the first NECA figures, but definitely one of the first Jasons. My very first NECA figure was a Freddy Krueger figure, and I'm definitely going to make a video of that on the channel, as it was my very first NECA figure that I got at Glasgow Comic Con here in Scotland. But yeah, I'm really excited to take a look at this guy here. I love this look of Jason. Part 6 is such a good Friday the 13th film, in my opinion. It's really fun, a lot of great kills, and I just love the outfit that Jason has in this film. So I had to pick up the figure, and it had been around for a while, especially even back then, a couple years ago. It had been out for a long time, and I was just waiting to grab it at the right price. I eventually found one on eBay, second hand, that the seller was selling for around, I think it was like 20, I don't even know, it was like mid 20 range, which is really good. I mean, normally these figures new are £35 now anyway. I'm not too sure what they were sitting at a couple years ago, but now picking up a new NECA figure is definitely going to set you back around £35. So as we always do on the channel, guys, let's take a look at the box. On the top, we've got a really cool logo here. Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives. Might be a bit dusty as I do have it out on display, but here we are at the top, ages 17 and up. We've got the front of the box here, which is just your poster or DVD artwork, but it's really nice. That gravestone looks awesome. I think it's a great image. Round at the side, we've got another logo. Really like the lightning strike in the back here. Once again, just Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives. Another gravestone NECA logo. Round this side, it's just the exact same. And then we've got the logo again, product image. A wee read up here, so if you want to read that, just hit the pause button. And then we've got some more product images here. So there you've got Unmasked Jason, gravestone, and that one there. So yeah, really cool box, really like it. But enough in the packaging, let's get this figure out of the box and see what we're dealing with here. And here we have Jason out of the box, and something I did fail to do just there was show off the window display packaging. I did briefly just open the box up and you could see that Jason was sitting in that window display, but I'll make sure at the end just to further show off what it looks like when you open that window up. We'll just take a quick look at the accessories just now and what Jason comes with. So he comes with this alternative hand. It's just another gloved hand, as you can see here. And that's just so you can slot his weapons in. And then the first thing I want to look at is this long spear here. I mean, this is crazy. Crazy long, taller than him, as you can see. I can't remember in the film what this is, like what he tears off. I'm presuming it's on a gate or something and he tears it off. I can't remember. It's honestly been a couple years since I have watched part 6. But this comes in 2 pieces and you just slot them together like so to create this long weapon. Pretty nifty, I really like it, and you can just see it's got some good detail on it. It looks nice and weathered. Yeah, cool accessory there for Jason. He then comes, if I don't slide it off, with his machete, and this looks great. Looks like a machete, nothing to complain about at all. I think it's a really nice sculpt, good detail there in the handle, And he does have a sheath here, so I'm hoping we can slot this in. Let's just check that out just now. So there we go. There's the machete in its holder. And I'm already seeing we have one for this next accessory, so let's get Jason ready for that. Here is a nice looking hunting knife, really great detail on this. Look at that serrated edge along the top there. Reminds me of like a Ghostface knife or something like that. Once again, great sculpt, nice paintwork. Another great accessory. So let's slot that in. How easy is this one going to be? There we go, like that. So you can just mess around with this wee bit here to get it around the handle. And then that knife slots right in there. So that's really cool as well. I really like that. I like the fact that we get these weapons with Jason and you can actually slot them on the character and make use of the utility belt that he comes with. And you're not going to have those weapons lying around loose if you do decide to display this figure out of the box. The last accessory it comes with is this gravestone here. And I did compliment it on the outside of the box, and you can see, looking at the box here, it does look a very different gravestone. But good detail, nice. It looks really rugged. It looks like a bit of stone, to be honest. I really like this. Bit of grass, I think that's supposed to be at the top. Looks a bit more like a crack or something, but a random bit of grass. Yeah, I think that's really cool. Good to display next to the figure, although it does look really small, right? I mean, that looks like a really small gravestone. If you imagine Jason's buried under there, you'd expect it to be a wee bit bigger. Taking a closer look at Jason, I've kept his mask on in the display box. The mask can be slotted in next to Jason, but I wanted a big reveal. Let's take a closer look at the mask first of all. And you can see it's got the crack from part 3. It's the end of part 3 that happens. There's so many of them, I just get them all muddled up in my head, but really like the mask. It's definitely a more weathered colour. It doesn't have the chevrons here. They've probably faded away over time. This is a weathered, battered and beaten Jason compared to the ones we've seen in the earlier movies. I mean, he is literally being killed and came back to life at this point and looks like this. Looking fine, Jason. Yeah. I think this looks awesome. I mean, that is horrific. That is absolutely terrifying. And that's why I really like this Jason. I mean, he is scary. You would not want this Jason coming after you. And you can see that detail all round the head. Really like this head sculpt. Detail just in the nose and the mouth here where the disgusting rotten skin isn't even there anymore, that bone coming through. I think it looks fantastic. As with all these NECA figures, the sculpt, the paint is just killer, if you get what I did there. But more detail throughout the shirt here. I really love this, man. It is awesome. I'm presuming these are all gunshots. Got the blood. That blood just looks fantastic. It looks like the figure's wet. I mean, it looks like there's blood on the figure. It's so great. I'm in love with this figure, man. All around the back, more blood. Looks like he's pooped some blood. Maybe did a wee blood fart. Sorry. But yeah. The trousers, more blood coming right through down the trousers. The one thing, the trousers, I mean, looking at the shirt and the trousers, you'd expect them to be a bit more weathered. I get that there's blood and there's gunshots and things like that, but you'd expect it to be like ripped up and faded away. I would have thought anyway, and I'm sure they've just, you know, referenced the film straight from the film, and I don't recall the shirt and the trousers being overly destroyed or anything in the film, but I don't know, when he's looking like this in the face, I don't think his clothes would have held up as well. Especially those shoes look pristine. But I don't think that's a fault on NECA's part. I think, you know, that's just how it is in the film, and they want to be as screen accurate as possible. I do need to watch part 6 again, and if you haven't seen part 6, it's 100% worth watching. Here is Jason part 6 next to the part 4 Jason. I think you can see where this figure comes from. I mean, he's donning the same outfit, the same sort of chino looking trousers, the same shirt, but this is Jason before he has been buried and risen in part 6. You can see that in part 6 he dons this new utility belt and the gloves, which I think is kind of the main difference of the outfit in part 6. If we just take part 4's mask off here, here's Jason's part 4 head sculpt, and as you can see, still pretty horrific and scary, but he hasn't officially started decaying yet and giving that more zombie look. But I really like the part 4 figure. I really like all these NECA Jason figures. I mean, they are just fantastic. There is nothing really to complain about, especially for the price that you get these figures at. And yeah, I think these two side by side look great, and you'd get a really good Jason display going on with these NECA figures. And here is Jason part 6 next to Rob Zombie's Michael Myers from the Halloween reboot. And this figure is massive. I mean, look how much taller he is to Jason. This figure is really old. I've talked about him before in my NECA Michael Myers videos. He's very limited in articulation, but I did have him out on display. He was easy to grab. He is a NECA figure, another slasher icon. I thought it would be a good comparison next to Jason, but as you can see, he just looks massive. I mean, he looks huge compared to Jason here. And next up in the slasher icon comparison is Ghostface. This is the McFarlane Toys Ghostface that was released years ago now. Once again, super limited on articulation. Once again, out on display, so easy to grab. But you can see these are standing at a more similar height. However, Jason, I think, does look a bit better, being more articulated and not in such a specific stance. However, I think these two do work well together. So I think it's time to take a look at part 6 Jason's articulation, and for this I'm just going to take the mask off, probably a wee bit easier. Jason can look this far up, he can look this far down, so you can get him looking right down. I think that's great. Left, right, and you can get him all the way around in true horror fashion. You can get his arm moving that far up, so pretty much a right angle, won't go any further up than that. Let's see. He's got a single jointed elbow, so you can get it moving up about that much, which is alright, and you can get his wrist moving around in a whole range of motions here. Just the same articulation in this arm. There's no articulation in the body here, although you can get some movement at the waist. It's not really going to stay in any position you put him in at the waist, but he does move around there. Get him kicking that far forward. Get him kicking that far out, so flexible legs on Jason here. He's got a single joint at the knee, so you can get him going that far back, probably get him in a good walking pose. And his feet will move left and right a wee bit, back a wee bit and forward a wee bit. I mean, his feet really aren't moving too much. So there we have it for this video, guys. I feel like I've covered everything here for part 6 Jason. Yeah, he's an awesome figure. As I say in all these NECA figure reviews, NECA have just smashed it. I mean, it really looks like Jason from the movie. And I know recently they have reissued a few of these past figures, especially part 4. I know they definitely reissued part 4 and made some minor upgrades on paint and things on the mask. And I think this figure could definitely do with a reissue. Mainly looking at the mask, I think the mask is the main thing that just... I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is to pinpoint specifically. Maybe it's the eyes or something on the mask. Everything else, it just looks great. I did swap the hand out to put that machete in. The other hand only really accommodates the wee knife, so the hand is swapped out there. And yeah, I really love the sculpt. I think the blood and just all the paint on the sculpt looks fantastic throughout the whole figure, and that head sculpt is just scary. Someone asked me recently, what is the best NECA Jason to get? And I replied to them, it really just does depend on your preference on your Jason, or just the movie. I mean, it's just down to whatever Friday the 13th movie you prefer, or what is your favourite Jason look. I know for me, I'm not a massive fan of the Freddy vs Jason film. I think it is a good film, but I much prefer the likes of Part 6. Part 6 is one of my favourites. I really like Part 7, and as I've said in previous videos, I do have Part 7 pre-ordered, just waiting on him coming out, and I'll definitely make a video on him. Part 3, of course, is a classic. Anything from Part 2 to Part 7, I love, okay? Because I'm just going to end up listing them all. Part 2 to Part 7 are all my favourites. So it is really hard to pick what my favourite Friday the 13th movie is. But in terms of Jason, I really love that Freddy vs Jason look. Next up, it would be Part 6. I really love the utility belt and the gloves, and just, I think it tops off this look. It's something different in the series, and yeah, I really like Part 6. So when it comes to choosing your NECA Jason figure, it really is just down to individual preference. I've not been disappointed by a single NECA figure as of yet, especially with these Jason figures. Every single one of them is fantastic. I really like the Part 5, and he's technically not Jason, of course it's Imposter Jason. And I think that will be the next Friday the 13th NECA figure that we look at on the channel, because he's probably the newest, I was going to say Jason figure, newest Friday the 13th NECA figure that I have. And I've had him for a while. I really love the look of him, so I definitely want to check him out on the channel. But you have it from me, guys. If you're looking to pick up a NECA Jason, I think you can be safe in picking any one of them. Just picking your favourite look of Jason and going for that NECA figure, because they are all just of great quality, fantastic sculpt, great paint. I did say at the start of the video I'd put him back in the window packaging, which was what I was going to do anyway, because as I've said in previous videos, I love displaying my NECA figures in the box. They come in fantastic boxes with great artwork, as you can see here. And the window display really allows you to see all the accessories that it comes with, as well as having the main figure on show. So that is what that looks like, guys, and that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It would really help me out. And if you want to go down to the comment section, please let me know what is your favourite Friday the 13th film, and who is your favourite Jason. What appearance of Jason is your favourite? I'd love to know. I'll leave the link to my Instagram down in the description below if you want to hop on over there and check that out. I post pictures of my collection pretty much every day. And just make sure you're subscribed for future videos on the channel, where I post every Tuesday, every Friday, and hopefully most Thursdays at this point. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the flip-flop later. Cheers.